Good morning, everyone. Maybe I should say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is a major cruise destination for those side trips. They've just developed this. It's Hollywood Everglades Park. I don't know if they're backpackers or trick-or-treaters, but nevertheless, this park has just gone through a renovation. It is a part of the Broward County park system. As you can see, the peacocks. It used to be a lot wilder. In fact, there's a number of TV shows that used to be filmed from here. There used to be an alligator pit here, alligator pit there, snake, a sepulcharium, and things of that nature. So, excuse me, clearing my throat. Let's take a quick walkabout, and we can start our venture. I'm going to show you a map, schematic, and it tells you what's available here: photo docks, fishing docks, bathrooms, the different wildlife. All right, so let's see what we can see. Well, as I go there, this used to be a recreation area. They used to sell lots here, or spaces for RVs, and they would park, for periods of time, weeks, months, whatever. Okay, so here we have, I call it a peacock. It's a young peacock, and it's interesting. There's an expression, I'm proud as a peacock. Well, when you see the peacock spread its plumes, see, both of those peacocks are male peacocks, and you can tell by the feathers they have on the back. So when they spread their plumes, it's a mating call. They're trying to, in essence, show their beauty, show their dominance, appeal to the female species. Okay, we've just walked from the back. Unfortunately, I'm not always a fan of progress, because progress takes away the original look. There's an Indian reservation that lives down there, that's down there. That's a dam, and many times during hurricanes or floods, they will open this dam, and basically it would flood that Indian reservation. But I'm talking about not being a fan of progress, but I must say they did do a really good job here. All of this was parking lot, and they've done a good job. I like to see when nature doesn't feel threatened. It has a chance to be in nature. Okay, behind that green awning is your alligator show. So when you take an airboat ride, when you go there for an airboat ride, part of your ticket is this, quote, alligator show, and they have, quote, alligator wrestling. And if you feel venturesome enough, you can put your head in this picture here, and you can get a picture, you can get a photo opportunity. Okay, I'm going to see if the restaurant is open, because I see, as you can see, they have gator bites. I believe this location, one of the other locations, has frog legs too. So we can see if they have frog legs over here. And if they do, maybe we can start our day out by having gator tail and frog legs. It's interesting. They used to be called a gator tail. Well, they don't call it tail anymore, because I guess you can have as much of the, they can use as much of the gator as you can. This person right here was part of the original TV show. The original TV show, I forget what the name of it is. It's quite popular. It's quite popular. And what they would do, I don't know if you've seen my house or not, but in the back of my house, there's a lake. And there's a lake in many South Florida communities, because where the lake is many times where they've gotten the gravel or dirt or whatever they need in order to build the foundations for the house. Okay. Anywhere you see a lake in Florida, you can almost count on there will be an alligator. And if the alligator gets over 6 feet in our area, we can call the Florida Wildlife Service or one of the wildlife wranglers, and they would capture the gator and they would bring them over here. And this is one of the places they would bring them to, release them so they don't kill them. Okay. The Everglades, they call it, quote, the river of grass. And if you ever seen one of the well, they also call it, within this Everglades you have what they call sawgrass, and within the sawgrass, on the edge of the blades, it is like thorns. Okay, so this river of grass here, initially, again, I've been here for a while, when we was to take the Everglade boat ride, these boats used to go directly over top of this grass. Directly over top of this grass. I suspect over the years some environmentalist probably says, oh, you continue to do that, you will you know, carve a path, ruin the ecosystem, or whatever the case is. So now what they do, they use the canals. So here's a canal, there's a canal, and they also have, I'm going to call it, some rules in place such that, you know, the boats doesn't collide and it's not a free-for-all. Okay. This is the dam I was talking about that controls the water, usually during a hurricane. Many times what we would do with the peacocks, you can kind of feed them popcorn kernels, and other type of things. It's interesting. No fishing here. That's all they used to come over here for, was to fish. Interesting. Wow. Wow. I can't even say that enough. Wow. Because they make it all commercial now. They make it all commercial, only money. That's all the people used to do, come over here and fish. Florida had a rule or a law that says, in essence, you did not need to have a fishing license if you fish with a cane pole, or I'm going to call it like a non-mechanical type of device. Well, I don't know if they still have it, because here the game warden used to come down and check everyone's fishing license here, and used to have, quote, you know, the little old, I'm going to call it ladies, and you know, if you're in Jamaica, you call it the market ladies, the ones that sit on the little bench or stool with the legs open and, you know, the dress inside. And they would sit out here and they would fish all day. And this area right here would catch quite a few bass. This canal system here, or I shouldn't say, this dam system here, one of the major canals that goes all the way to, quote, the beach or the Atlantic Ocean. So sometimes the water in between this canal and the Atlantic Ocean, they call it brackish water, meaning it's a combination of salt water and fresh water. Wow, I'm still thinking about the no fishing sign. I don't know, when was the last time I was over here? Maybe 6 months ago. I didn't see that sign. Okay, so you can hear these boats. They take them out for that morning, I guess, engine workout or whatever the case is. Let's see if we're gonna see it approach. We can hear it because it's a no wake zone. Okay, well, they're exercising. Well, you can see it. There it is right here. There it is right here. All right, so they take it out for its morning, I guess, engine run or whatever the case is. And as you see, all of this right here is, quote, sawgrass. And on the boat ride, what they would normally do, there are places where there are a number of alligators, and depending on how adventuresome the boat captain is, sometimes they'll reach over and try to grab the alligator by the tail or whatever the case may be. And you know, for those that don't see this on the common occurrence, they're like, ooh, wow, you know, a wild man. But once you see these alligators on the common occurrence, you realize one of the biggest, I'm gonna call it, keys to them is, one, their tail is a weapon. So if you grab their tail, you grab one of the two weapons. Also, their head or mouth is a weapon. So when you grab the tail, you cannot, they cannot spin around as much. All right. When I'm looking at this water here, many times when you look at the water, you can see if there's something, quote, underneath of it, you know, just by the waves. Now this is what we saw earlier. Well, I don't know what the theme is here, because you have that boat captain there with Halloween paint on his face, and you have these people here too. So I don't know what the event is, but nevertheless, you're capturing, or you're seeing, I don't want to call it a once-in-a-lifetime occurrence. I find all photography is once in a lifetime because, you know, the settings may be similar, but not always the same. There would be gators that come up here. And the reason this is a floating pier, it floats up. So many times you would catch a fish and the gator would come back and chomp the line. Okay, so what do we have here? Do we have steps? Okay, so we do have steps. All right. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna block the sun with this. And there it is again. Everglades, Hollywood Park. There are a number of these parks, so you need to make sure you go to the right park. A number of the parks do have airboat rides and other attractions. The one that's further up, I'm going to call it 27. It's not as developed. I think it still is a county park, but again, you know, the county did this. I'm going to call it right around COVID. They took it over again because they leased it out, but they took it over, and they have developed it. Morning. Okay, I'm gonna go to the main sign. We're here early. I will go in and see if I can get a cup of coffee or something of that nature, and then I will start my day of, I'm gonna say, study, meditation, prayer, etc. Okay. All right. Again, I used to work not too far from here, and I would come over here for lunch. The lady, she's out walking her dogs. I think she has two like pit bulls, and you know, the pit bulls are sniffing around in the turf, and as they get closer to the grass, you can see an alligator kind of lurking or just strolling up to them, and the dogs are barking, woof, 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 woof. And the alligator is constantly moving toward them. All of a sudden, the lady realized this gator is coming from my dogs. She drastically pulled her pit bull dogs back. As she pulled her pit bull dogs back, you know, the alligator submerges, and there was no incident. So what I'm saying is, although this looks a little sanitized, you need to be careful, because it is wild, and it's wild to the point where I have seen what they call it, the African they call them the African python. What do they call it? The bowl. Okay, see the snake right here? You know, I've actually seen one of those out here. That's before they did all this development. Now, after they've done the development, I was going to say you haven't seen them. Okay, it's another young peacock in his element. So you got your boat launch there. Okay, I'm going to go inside, either get coffee or see what's for breakfast. GoPro, stop capture.